Welcome back to Naptime Sports Talk Podcast. Thank you for tuning in to our latest episode. Enjoy the show. Welcome back to Naptime Sports Talk Podcast. On today's episode, we're going to break down a little bit about the Green Bay game, then just go into some Viking-related discussion. So yeah, we'll just get it kicked off here. Happy Thanksgiving Day week, Big D. Welcome to the podcast. DC, how you doing today?
Doing good, man. Just enjoying this first snowfall of 2025.
Yeah, the only reason why you can enjoy it is because your girlfriend does all the snow blowing, huh?
Oh no. I'll be doing all the snow blowing.
You better be blowing that snow for a big guy.
I'll be out there at 5 a.m. tomorrow.
There you go. Don't forget to bring your cameras.
I won't forget them.
All right, so yeah, we'll just jump right into the Vikings and Green Bay game. We don't have to go over it a lot. Man, just one of the worst games to watch, especially after that first half. Like, it just went downhill big time in the second half. There was nothing in our favor. Nothing went right. And it's left us to this point of we're in 6 games now of J.J. McCarthy's NFL career, and that was probably one of the worst quarterback games I've ever seen out of Vikings quarterback in a very long time. And that's including maybe Jaron Hall when he played the Packers, how rough that was. I thought overall KOC limited his offense for him in the first half. It was very apparent. Ran the football a lot more than he has in his career, the most he's ever has in his career. And I just don't know if you want to dumb your offense down that much. And it showed in the second half when we were put into a tough spot of being down by quite a bit of points that we were just not able to come back and make anything of the game. So I do want to pinpoint, the big moment there in the second half was that Miles Price blunder of just not getting away from the football. I don't know what he was thinking on that. I don't know if that's coaching, special teams, Matt Daniels, or what, if it's just a boneheaded move at that point. You're always taught to get away from the football. If you're letting it go as a returner, you get away from that football. You don't go towards the football and put yourself in the situation of being blocked into it, which is what exactly he did. So that was very frustrating right there, put him in prime field position and they scored a touchdown. So at that point, I kind of had a feeling too, like, oh man, this game might be over with the way we've been playing offensively. You just can't make those mistakes. In the games, like, especially when you're playing a team like the Green Bay Packers, who was ferocious on defense all day, man. And man, Micah Parsons, what a game-changing player he is. Just that play where he blew up the whole interior of the offensive line was just absolutely incredible. Screw you, Jerry Jones, for sending him to the Green Bay Packers, because guess what? He's one of the best defensive players in the NFL when he's healthy, the best defensive player in the NFC. So, and you just gave him away, basically. So they definitely screwed that one up there in Dallas. Can't believe that they let him go, but he's making a killing and he's a great player. So, but to go into the quarterback position, you can't blame everything on McCarthy, but man, just what an awful performance. And 6 games now, Big D, and I've always been the person to preach, patience with him, and we're only in 6 games of his career. But last game, it's just very telling where he's at right now. He shouldn't be on the football field. He should not be starting for us. He's not ready at all. Will he ever be ready? I don't know. I'm not a fortune teller. don't know that, but we'll see what happens, you know. But as of right now, he is historically bad. One of the worst quarterback ratings and quarterback play in the past decade plus. He's number 2, and the one below him is not a very great quarterback to be compared with. That's Jamarcus Russell. We know how he was a big bust out of LSU for the Oakland Raiders at the time. So it's concerning. And you know, this team, we had high hopes. I went back and listened to some beginning of the year podcasts when we made our predictions. I think I predicted the Vikes to go 11-6. You had them at 14-3 winning the division, and they are a shell of what we thought they were going to be. And a big part of that is the poor performance of quarterback play. And I don't know, DC. It's hard for me to say as of right now that he is going to be the answer. Obviously, I'm not going to call it yet. He's still young, but he needs to show a lot of growth in order for me to be a full believer in him again. And I don't know how we sit here thinking that he's going to be the answer in 2026. They have to go out there this offseason and bring in competition for him, have a better backup plan. Because if we're rolling with him in the 2026 season, I would say, hey, Kwesi and KOC, your job's on the line. And if you're not going to be able to say, like, this kid isn't the answer, you're probably going to lose your job. So I'd hate to see KOC lose his job. Kwesi, you know how I feel about him. I know he just can't draft. You know, I was thinking last night, I was just thinking in my head laying there in bed. And I was thinking, man, I miss Rick Spielman. He brought us so many great football players here in the Vikings. Of course, he had his limitations too and missed on guys, but you make so many picks, you're going to miss on guys. And but he brought us like Adrian Peterson and the Eric Kendricks, Anthony Barr, Justin Jefferson, Christian Darrisaw, Harrison Smith, Kyle Rudolph. The list just goes on and on and on. And I'm thinking, what has what has he done in the draft? You know, he's brought us guys like Jordan Addison and Jackson this year, Will Reichard. But after that, I can't think of too many other guys that he's brought in that has been tremendous players for us. Dallas Turner starting to show flashes, which I'm happy about that. But overall, you know, like you go back and even look at it right now, Rick Spielman still has more starters on this team than Kwesi does starters on this team who he has drafted, which is just crazy, and that's very telling. He's a poor drafter. We can't build the team just through free agency. You got to be able to draft, because when you spend all the money on the free agency, you don't have the depth. It puts yourself into situations where you're looking for short-term success versus a long-term success. And I'm hoping that the Vikes can get this figured out. And I don't know if they will move on with the GM just because we extended him this offseason or this past offseason, but it's definitely on the table for him to be thought of as potentially a guy that could be fired. So we'll see what happens with that. But so DC, yeah, what do you think about the GM so far?
You pretty much nailed it on the coffin. Like, Spillman did a good job drafting like JJ and Adrian Peterson and all of them. And Kwesi, his draft picks were not that good. Like you said, Dallas Turner, he's finally coming through. Jalen Naylor, he's coming through a little bit. But like his last 3 drafts, all the players have been a bust, or they are not with us anymore.
For sure.
And like, maybe give him one more year, see how he does in the 2026 draft and everything. And if he doesn't perform in the draft, he might have to start looking for another GM out there and everything. And
Yeah, for sure.
because I just don't think they're going to let go KOC everything. But like there's some coaches out on that team that their jobs might be on the line and everything. And I just don't think KOC's is one of them. Um, it could be the special teams coach, it could be whoever, but
Mhm.
need to start figuring something out with these draft picks and everything, um and everything. So like, yeah, it's gonna be interesting for the rest of the year. And then when we get into the off season, so
Yeah, and, like, I don't think that we should go out and fire KOC at all. I think he is a great football coach. He does a lot to, build a locker room. The guys love him, they love playing for him. They're probably frustrated as hell right now, though, with what's going on in the situation. I'm sure he is too, and probably baffled about what is happening. But we've talked about this in the past too, just how I always thought that KOC really loved Drake May, and we just kind of had to fall back to JJ McCarthy at the time, where we could have potentially picked a guy like Bo Nix, who might have been a better fit for us,
mhm.
um, especially with how often he threw the football in college, just the experience he had, reading defenses and all that. But yeah, if I was the Wolves, what I would do is I would seriously think about moving on from Kwesi. And, when I'm looking for a GM, in my mind, like, I want a football guy, not just like analytics nerd that is, he looks at the analytics side of the sport versus a guy who goes out there and players have to pass the eye test. Players have to look good on tape.
Mhm.
Players aren't just based on projections of what you think they could be. Obviously, every player has a potential threshold, right? Where you think that this player might have more potential to reach a different part of their game that they have not unlocked yet. Of course. But I want a football guy, someone who's been around the game for a very long time, who knows ins and outs of the sport. Kwesi wasn't always a football guy. And I think what I would do is that I would allow KOC to go out and handpick his general manager himself, because he was not a part of those discussions. If you remember, the Wilfs brought in the GM first, and then they hired the coach after that. So that's what I would do if I was them. I would be looking for a new general manager, and just because I don't trust him in the draft, I just don't. You go back to his first year, and he had a chance to take Kyle Hamilton, one of the best safeties in the NFL in the draft at the time, one of the best defensive players in the draft. What does he do? He trades within the division. You don't do that. Why do you want to make your division better? He goes and trades that pick to the Detroit Lions, and then they go and draft Jamison Williams. Why are you doing that? And then who does he pick? He takes Lewis Seen, but guess what? He moves back again on day 2 with the Green Bay Packers. You don't trade with your division rivals. You just don't. So right there, it should have been very telling right from the beginning. And I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't too enthused when we moved back. I wanted Kyle Hamilton. You were with me, I think, that day.
Yeah, I
I was
was.
pretty pissed off. And not just because I'm a Notre Dame fan, okay? I love my Irish, but he was a terrific football player,
Mhm.
and he's doing great things for the Baltimore Ravens. He would have made our team a lot better. When we moved back to Lewis Seen, who had basically 1 year college experience. He was on a Georgia defense that had a lot of talent, you know. It was just frustrating. And then I'm not gonna lie, like, when they took Andrew Booth Jr., I was pretty excited about that because I thought he was a good cornerback in college. But the thing with him is he just never could stay on the field. He was always injured, and he could never stay on the field. That was his biggest thing. That really hindered his development. And same thing happened in the NFL. He just never panned out for us. Like I said, he traded with the Green Bay Packers. They go draft Christian Watson. You just don't trade with their division rivals. I don't care what you're going to be getting back in return. I'm just not. I don't like that. Why do you want to try to make your rivals better or give them the guy they want that they think is going to make their football team better?
Yeah.
I just never got that, and it's just concerning the ability to draft. Like I said, free agency provides a quick fix. It creates short success. The roster's deep, right? But what happens when you don't have the free agency, when you don't have the cap space anymore, and you have to start restructuring guys, you have to cut players. You need to draft to create depth, and we just haven't had a lot of depth on this team because we can't draft well, and we haven't
Yeah.
drafted well since Spielman was here. Now we've hit on some guys like Jordan Addison and Donovan Jackson and Will Reichard, and you mentioned Jalen Naylor, who's been solid this year. But you need more than just that. You can't have only 3-4 guys on your roster that are really doing something. In how many years now have they been here? 3-4 years, like 3-4 drafts. So
Yeah, it's been three because KOC's been here for 4 years. Yeah, it would be draft number number 4 for them.
yeah, so I just don't trust him. I don't trust Kwesi, and I just think that they need to think seriously about that and try to find someone that can come in and hopefully do what the Lions have done, do what the Eagles have done. You look at the Lions, like, look at their roster: Jahmyr Gibbs, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Penei Sewell, Malcolm Rodriguez, Terrion Arnold, like Brian Branch. All these guys were found in the draft. Sam Laporta. You know what I mean? They really done a great job of building their roster with at a lot of key positions through the NFL draft.
Yeah, if we don't have a good draft next year, Quasi will be out. Will be out.
Dude, I
He
don't
will
even
not be.
trust him for this offseason.
I don't
I'm
either.
worried that Jeremiah Love's going to be there and he's going to move on and trade it or pick someone else. The guy just, I don't trust him. I don't trust him.
They need to hire you.
Well, that would be a dream, but not saying that I'm going to be the general manager of the Minnesota Vikings or I ever should be. But I definitely would have picked some different players during my time watching these drafts than Kwesi has, who've panned out pretty nicely. So, but no, I just hope they go out there and get that KOC finds someone like a former teammate or someone else that he knows in the front office that they can really trust and do well. So, but yeah, we're gonna move on from this topic. Speaking on the draft, I was hoping we could maybe do a little draft sim today, just have a little fun with it. I know you probably don't know a lot of prospects, which is fine. I can help out with that. But let me just share my screen here real quick. And can you see this board at all?
Yeah, I can see it.
Perfect. So we're just gonna enter quick. It won't be too long. So as of right now, the Titans have the first pick, and this draft is rolling here. So we're right to our pick 12. We have an option to trade out. I would say we take the pick. And it's just a no-brainer to me at this point. Here I'll go over it. So Jordan, this is this is kind of funny, this draft, but so far on the board you have Jeremiah Love is sitting there at number 12. Now I don't know if Love would be there in actuality when the draft happens, but hopefully the Vikes can move up to anywhere from pick 7 down. If we can get up to 7, that'd be great. But if he's sitting there, Big D, at number 12, I'm taking Jeremiah Love. He's a game-changing talent. He's one play away from putting it in the end zone at any given moment. This past weekend, he had like 8 carries, 173 yards. I think it was 3 touchdowns and 21.4 yards per carry. Like, he barely even played. in the second half at all. This is all pretty much in the first half and then one play in the third quarter. So he's a tremendous talent, man. And I would be super thrilled if the Vikes drafted Jeremiah Love. Do you agree with that one?
Oh yeah, I agree 100%. Like I want to join Love in purple and gold next year.
For sure, for sure. And if we don't get him, a guy that I'd like to maybe go to cornerback position is Jermod McCoy out of Tennessee. Hasn't played this year, but last year his tape, he was really shut down there at Tennessee. He's a tremendous cornerback talent. The one thing I do worry about him is just coming off that knee injury, how he will do. But I think he has a lot of great tools that he would be really, really good cornerback too. And then Mansour Delane, he's at LSU now, but he was out at Virginia Tech before. He's another guy that I would like, if maybe we miss out on Love, that we could maybe pick for the cornerback room. So here we are on pick number 43, and so we have some needs here. It's telling us we have some DB needs, which are, yes, we do, safety, cornerback. We took our running back, and one guy that comes to my mind right now is this Dylan Thieneman out of Oregon. I think he's going to be a tremendous safety in the NFL. If we could get him at pick 43, I'd be pretty happy. I could see him go even higher than this, but he would be a really solid pick to have in that safety room. What do you think about that, D? You happy with that pick?
Absolutely, yeah. Because we just don't know. This might be Harrison Smith last year.
Yeah, for sure.
Playing, and
even so, like if Harrison did come back, like Theo Jackson hasn't been necessarily super great this year. Like he's been solid, but I think we could definitely upgrade that position.
Yeah, like if Harrison comes back one more year or he retires, if Harrison comes back when we draft him, that'll be a solid secondary back there.
For sure. So moving on to the third round, we have pick 74 sitting right now. This is all subject to change based on the rest of the season. Hopefully, like I said before, we move up. Jadarian Price, running back, Notre Dame, third round here. He's going to be good too. Like, don't overlook him, football fans, because Love is fantastic, but Price is also going to be a starting NFL running back too. So whoever gets him is going to be happy with that. But just looking at some guys, another thing to me, like DC, I love the pick from these big time programs like Notre Dame and Alabama, Oregon, these top teams from these big schools. You know what I mean? Like I love to get talent from those guys. And one player I'm looking at right now that I think would be an upgrade on our defense, Ivan Pace is going to be potentially a free agent this offseason. We'll see if we are able to bring him back. But one guy that I think that would be a nice pick here is Deontay Lawson, the Alabama linebacker. I think he's going to be a tremendous talent in the NFL, and the fact that he'd be sitting here, I don't know if he'll be a third-round pick. I could see him probably go around 2. At one point before the year, you could say he was a first-rounder. But right now, if we could get him in the third round, I'd be super happy about that to our defense.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. He's a stud. Yeah, he is. He's really good.
Yeah, he's a good player. So, and he hasn't had the best year this year. That's why I think he's fallen off. But I think that he has a lot of experience at the linebacker position, and I would be super confident in picking him. So we're moving down to the end of the third round here. We're going to have another pick. We're going to have pick number 97 right now. So we do have 2 third-round picks. Now, here's the thing. In this offseason, if we were to maybe move for someone, maybe like a Mac Jones, do we give up a third-round pick to pick Mac Jones? I think we need to bring in quarterback competition to go with J.J. McCarthy. I don't think we can just straight up rely on him after what he has shown, even if he does show glimpses of or flashes of brightness here in the last, however many games he'll play. Sounds like Max Brosmer could be playing this week since McCarthy's in the protocol. But, I think we definitely have to go out there and add to the quarterback room this offseason. Someone brought up former Colts said he would give like Justin Fields a look at Minnesota. I think that would be kind of cool, you know, just to see if that would work out.
Yeah, because I was looking up there's some pretty solid free agent quarterbacks next year like that. Like you got Daniel Jones, you got Russell Wilson, and stuff. I don't think uh Daniel Jones is gonna be a free agent. I think
The Colts get
the
him
Colts are gonna
back.
extend him because
Yeah.
he's having a real good year. But there are some solid free agent quarterbacks for next year. So like we can try to get for one of those
Mm-hmm.
guys. But like if we can get Mac Jones, I'd be happy. Like uh I wouldn't mind seeing Mac Jones starting for us next year.
Yeah, I'd like that too. I think that would be, you'd fit nicely in this offense. So, um, but just going into, yeah, I think Daniel Jones, like, I don't think the Colts move on from him. Like, after what he's shown this year, you got to bring
No.
him back.
Yeah.
So, we'll move in here at pick number 97. We'll just stop here after the third round and do our pick sixes. But this guy here, I think, you could maybe say, like, he's kind of struggled over the past few years. But man, as a freshman, he was one of the best players as a freshman in the country. And that's Harold Perkins Jr., linebacker. I think you could put him in the linebacker role, but you could also have him rush the passer because he is a tremendous talent, and I think that he would be a very nice player to get for us. Dad, just another guy in the pass rush, and that's Harold Perkins Jr. out of LSU. So we'll stop there with our mock. So we did a 3-round mock. We ended up with Jeremiah Love, Dylan Feynman, safety out of Oregon, Deontay Lawson, linebacker out of Alabama, Harold Perkins Jr., linebacker at LSU, who also I think that would fit in nicely just to be like a pass rusher. So, yeah, that's it. I would be pretty happy with those 4 picks there in the first 3 rounds. But yeah, we'll see if we can trust Kwesi enough to make those types of moves. But yeah, and we'll also see if he's back next year. So, all right, moving on to our pick sixes, DC, and then we'll end the show here. So I kind of have to look at who I'm going to be taking too. So just looking over the schedule right now, a lot of good games. I think that my first pick is going to be. I'm going to say I'm going to take the Rams over the Panthers. I think that's going to be a guaranteed win there for the LA Rams.
I'm gonna pick I'm looking at my Sunday ticket like that. So
Only thing with Sunday Ticket is I don't know if
um
you'll be able to see all the games because of Thursday's games, and then
yeah.
yeah, but maybe they have all of them on there.
Um so for my first pick, I hate saying this. Um I'm gonna pick Packers over the
Okay,
Lions. If the Packers play like they did against us, against Detroit, and they're gonna win.
yeah, I agree. The Packers their defense they have a good defense, so that's for sure. I'm gonna take the Patriots over the Giants on Monday Night Football. That'll be a fun one. Hopefully, Jackson Dart's back and Drake May and him face off.
I'm gonna go Chargers over the Raiders.
Okay, the Chargers over the Raiders. I'm trying to write this down too, so there's a little bit of a pause. That is why. My next pick here, I'm gonna take. I think the Bills are gonna bounce back this week. I took them last week and kind of blew up in my face, but we're gonna do the Bills over the Steelers.
I'm gonna go 49ers over the Browns.
Hey, Shadur Sanders gonna be the starting quarterback again. Got his first win in his first career start. Happy for him.
Yeah, and I think Miles Garrett's gonna have
Oh
like 2
gosh,
sacks.
dude, he's like 5 or so sacks away from breaking the record. He's gonna do it, no doubt about it. As long
Yeah,
as he doesn't get hurt.
yeah.
So, my next pick here is going to be. Let's see here. Ooh, this could be a good game. The Texans and Colts. That'll be a big division game there. let's see. I'm gonna shy away from that one right now. Hate to say this, Vikes fans, but I'm gonna pick the Seattle Seahawks over the Minnesota Vikings. We'll see if Brosmer can come in there and do something. I'm excited to have a week break from JJ. Honestly, if Brosmer does in fact play and JJ does not play, I just need to see something different for a little bit, man. Like it's just been too rough.
Oh, oh man, I'm gonna go Falcons over the Jets.
Okay, Atlanta versus the Jets. You have the Falcons going over them, so that's 4 each right now. So we have 2 more picks coming up. We're gonna have to do the hard one, the upset for the week. Um,
Yeah,
I think I'm gonna go the Eagles over the Bears. I think the Eagles show or make them look a little bit fraudulent in that game. They've been winning a lot of close games. Caleb Williams though is having a great season, so
yeah, he is. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Cowboys over the Chiefs.
that'd be sick. I was hoping last week that the Colts would have pulled it off, but they lost in OT. It was a good game though. All right, so now this is a tough one, DC. This is a hard one to hit on. We have to do an upset of the week. Man, so just looking at some spreads here, I'd like Texans Colts, like that could be one, like Texans over the Colts, but that's only like a 4.5 spread. I don't think I'm gonna take that one. Maybe the Cards over the Bucks, since I don't know if Baker's hurt. Is it
Yeah,
tough?
I'm not for.
I think I might have to do this. I think I might have to take the Texans over the Colts for my upset of the week.
Uh, man, I was gonna,
It's
I was
tough,
gonna
isn't
do
it?
that one. Uh, I was
If
gonna
you
do
want to
that
do,
one.
you can do the same one. You can do the same one. That's fine.
Can I
It's
pick
all but what you
Michigan?
think.
Can I pick
You pick
Michigan?
Michigan.
Michigan over Ohio State as my
You're a funny
um
guy.
um
So you got Bengals, Ravens. Baltimore's a 7-point favorite in that one. Joe Burrow's coming back for Thursday night. Let's see. Jags Titans. Jags are a 6.5 point favorite on the road.
actually no,
Saints Dolphins.
I'm gonna go Houston over the Colts.
Okay, you do the same one.
I just that Houston's defense is just unreal. If they can do what they did
Oh yeah.
against Josh Allen, Daniel Jones is going to have an off game. So
Yeah, D'Amico Ryans is a great coach, that's for sure. And Houston's defense is for real, one of the best defenses in the NFL. So,
yeah,
but yeah, since you're talking about college, like that's a big game this weekend. Ohio State, Michigan. See if Michigan can get to them. I think Ohio State gets it done this year.
they always say that Ohio State always has a perfect season going into the final game, and they always lose to Michigan.
They
But
have in the past year, last 3 years or so.
I am going to root for Michigan because I do not like Ohio State. But
Yeah,
but it's gonna be a good game. I'm excited to watch that game, and I think this is probably one of the funnest times of the years, especially the last game of the year, because you're playing against your rivals and everything. Then after that, you have the Army and Navy game like that. So, like towards
for sure.
hey, college football is it's all year is great to watch, but towards the end, I mean, like that, it just gets more intense and everything. So, I'm excited for this end of the year college football than the brackets and everything. So, it's exciting.
Yeah, definitely. We'll have to once the bracket comes out and like the conference championships all wrap up here in the next few weeks, and the playoff bracket comes out, we'll have to do like a prediction, see who you
Yeah,
think's gonna win it all. We'll have to do that. That'd be fun
I that's gonna be really fun.
for sure. All right, DC. Well, I think we're coming to that point of the podcast or the episode that we can kind of wrap this up. So, thank you for listening. Like I said before, hopefully, I know it's been a long football season and it's been a tough one. So hang in there. Hopefully, we have brighter days ahead. But hope you all enjoy your Thanksgiving here coming up, or in a couple days. It's Tuesday right now, so in 2 days. And stay safe during this snowstorm. And DC, make sure you pop your belt buckle for some pumpkin pie on Thanksgiving night. All right.
I know, right? Can't wait.
All right. Well, DC, you wrap it up.
All right, Skull Bikes.
Thank you for listening to our episode. Be sure to give us a follow on Instagram and X at Naptime Sports Talk Podcast for content related to the pod. Thank you for the support.